Okay, hello YouTube. This is a different sort of thing for me today. The opportunity arose to review a little battery charger. So I'm not used to getting free things, so I jumped at the chance. Gearbest were kind enough to send me a fantastic little field charger. It's tiny. It'll charge from 2 to 6S at up to 8 amps. So what you can do is you just hook up one of your larger flight batteries and use it to charge some of your small racer batteries. We'll test it out while I fly today and see whether we can prove its worthiness. So here's what I have with me today. It's my Martian 220. I've got the camera angle at a ridiculous angle. It's far too steep for me, but I'm trying to get used to it at the moment. The only problem is the landings. Unless you've got some sort of reference point, you really don't know where the mat is. So anyway, oh, and I have my new Unify transmitter in there as well, so it's working well for me so far. Quite pleased with it. I'm using a 45 or 75C Tattoo flight battery, 1550 for this one, and I'm using the GoPro Session in one of my mounts, special one of those polyplast things, and I'm using a little bit of that really expensive Velcro from 3M to give it a bit of angle and grip at the front. Using this Velcro strap to hold the whole thing down at an angle which is a bit precarious, but anyway. Okay, so next we should have a look at this charger. This is the power input. This is where you plug in a large flight battery or some crocodile clips connected up to an XT60. And here's where you plug in the battery you're charging. Balance there, 2 to 6S. XT60 plug, so you can get an adapter if you've got EC3s or Deans or whatever. So here's the large battery that I'm going to be using. So I'll maybe get a couple of charges out of it, and then I've got another one. I've got some 6S batteries. You're never short of some 2200s. You could use those. Just be careful you don't discharge them too low. So far I haven't hit any warnings. There's possibly a built-in warning to say stop using this before it hits 3.7 volts, whatever. And it starts up. So I've nothing charged at the moment, so the input voltage is 16.6. It's a 4S. Oh no, that's what I could charge. Okay, here's my task settings screen. So you can choose charge, discharge, storage. I normally keep it on charge. Then you can decide what you're going to be charging. So you can have LiPo, lithium ion, LiFe, lead, nickel metal hydride, etc. And even this is the one I really like. This is the high voltage LiPos that can take higher voltage. And I've been putting off buying one of those because my current charger wouldn't charge them. So now I've got this little gadget and it can do it for me. So also you've got to think about getting a power supply, something better than a battery obviously, but for the field this is absolutely ideal. There's your charge rate, so you can have that all the way up to 8 amp. unlikely that I'd ever use that. I'm quite happy with about 2 to 2.2 with my 4S batteries. So anyway, we'll see. We'll come back to that after my first flight, and we'll see how long it takes to charge. Okay. Close, but no cigar. I'm going to charge it at 2.5 amps. These batteries are supposed to be able to take 5C, so I think I should be fairly safe trying that. And also it's a good test for this speed charger for the field anyway. Okay. That's my power source. Plug in. And here's my battery. Let's just check what the percentage is before I hook it all up. Okay, I think it was about a 3 and a bit minute flight. 19% left, 15.1 volts. Cells, 3.775, 3.775, 3.779, 3.775. Okay, let's plug it into this baby. The iSDT Smart Charger SC608 150W. That's wrong. Try that. Oh, that's better. Okay. System setting. Maximum input. I don't know. 50 watts. Minimum input voltage. Okay, back. Okay, so I'm going to charge. There's my cell ratings, so they're pretty close to what the capacity controller has indicated. So I'm going to go back to charge. Okay, so that's set. LiPo 4.2 volts, 4S 2.2 amps. Now I'm going to stick that up to 2.5, sorry. Then I'm going to start. And it is now charging. So it tells me as it's charging how much is going in, how much is put in. Showing resistances as well. I think that takes a wee minute or two to show up. It shows me the temperature, so it's got a fan in the back here, which I can show you. There's a fan there, so if it gets a bit hot, then the fan kicks in. It gives it a wee blurt whenever you plug it in for the first time. It gives a wee spin and then shuts down again. I think it's just self-checking. Okay. Oh, and how long it's been charging, how much it reckons is in the battery already. And this is how much power it's taken out and putting in. So it's losing a little bit between the two, presumably to power this little screen, which is excellent quality, by the way, you know, lovely, beautiful stuff. Anyway, I'll have another flight and we'll see how this goes.
Missed again.
Okay, so back after another flight, and it's been going for 10 minutes 20 seconds, and it's put in 422 milliamp hour. So we can also check the cells while it's charging. Are they getting on? There's no option to balance charge, so I assume it's balance charge by default, and it seems to do a really nice job. So far, a lot of the batteries I've been charging with it have been hitting 98 to 99% charged. My other charger wasn't doing that. I assume there's some sort of safety thing built in, but never had I got more than 96 in the past. Now I'm getting 98, 99% according to this. So it's not scientific, but relative to the other one, it's charging a lot faster, or a lot better. Okay, go for another flight, then we'll come and have a look again. I reckon it'll be charged by then. Okay, so it's been charging for just over 20 minutes now, and the cells look like they're nearly balanced. So yep, it's nearly charged. See, the temperature is now 31 degrees, but it's sitting in the sun as well, so it's not that warm. The percentage charge is now 99%. We'll see what it is whenever it comes on this as well, so we've got a nice comparison. So maybe just wait now until it's charged. Okay, so the last bit of the charge is always the longest. So sometimes a watched charger never charges. We're fully charged. So it says fast charge done. I didn't see another option unless it's just the rate that it's been charged at. Okay. So now we can test the percentage with the capacity controller. Okay. A little reminder it's done, so I'm going to take it out. %. That is awesome. So you're getting every last penny's worth out of your battery. Okay, so I'll just compare, I'll just check to see how much has been taken out of the multi-star. I'd say it was about 96% full whenever I started this, so we'll see what it is now while it's on. Oh. 63%, so it's down 30%, 32% to fill 1550, which is about right. So you can take out some of the power that was used to run the screen and the fan and a little bit of heat, but I think it's pretty efficient. So anyway, looking good so far. I'll get another battery on, see if I can charge this before I quit. So the second battery is nearly charged now, but the light's starting to go and my feet are freezing, so I'm gonna head in. It's hitting 99%, so I'm gonna stop the charge and we'll just check to see what the capacity is. My checker. So I'll just stop it, hit stop, unhook, Okay, so the battery ran out on the GoPro 4, so I've resorted to GoPro 3 footage for the remainder of the review. If you're going to be out all day, I think this is a fantastic piece of kit. But if you're going to be spending, if you're only going to be spending maybe half an hour to fly, then just bring the batteries and charge them when you get back home. This is good at home as well. I think it's very useful to get a couple of batteries charging at the same time. You've got your regular charger and one of these. You can get out and flying really quickly on this battery after charging 2 complete batteries. 33%, so I wouldn't risk charging another one, might deplete it, but presumably there is a cutoff on this. I'd need to check the online manual. This little guide tells you the basics really, and then there's an online one, a quick reference guide that you can go get online. Use your QR code to find it. So, okay. So I'd like to thank Dylan at Gearbest for making the effort to send something to me. Sorry it took so long for me to do the review, but sometimes life gets in the way of your hobby. The battery charger is excellent for people who like to get out. They aren't necessarily going to a flying field where they can bring the battery and hobby grade charger. This is more for people who want to hike out to a nice flying spot and not have too much to carry. I think it's a great idea. There should be a link in the description to where you can get it. If you like it, I think you might be able to get a discount from Gearbest. They're always willing to give a couple of bucks off. Okay, seems to have survived. That was to do with the FPV mix, so I think I've got to change a couple of blades, resecure a speed controller. Hey, it's never boring. Never.